Relapsing versus slipping. This is an important question that a lot of people ask. And the reason that people have this question is because when you do relapse, when you do slip up, you're trying to gauge how serious you need to be in order to beat this porn thing. Was it a relapse? Was it a slip? Was it just a regular lapse? Well, this is the difference. Overall, the main thing that is the defining factor between these two things is more psychological and more mental and more decisive about how you react to your slip up. That defines if it's a one-time slip up or if it's a relapse and you actually have to start from square one, right from the beginning. All right. So to start off, I'm going to tell you a story or give you an analogy more. So I often talk about this big old mountain that we're climbing. The mountain is an important analogy that I use to explain your porn recovery journey is climbing a mountain. And your goal in your porn recovery journey is to maintain your foothold on the peak of the tip of this mountain. And it's a very slippery mountain. It's a very slippery slope because, as you know, sometimes you're doing really well with your NoFap journey, and then the next day you're found yourself knee deep in porn, binge watching porn. And you're like, how did I get here? It's because you slipped and you let yourself slip. All right. So the important analogy is that when you're climbing this mountain, as you are right now, you're going to have bumps in the road. You're going to have little pebbles here and there. You're going to have little dips or little ditches, little valleys here and there. It's going to be challenging at times. Those little bumps in the road are relapses, are slips. And now the size of that relapse is those little bumps in the road is entirely up to you. It's entirely up to you depending on how you react to that. You can decide to just relapse and just decide to binge watch porn for the rest of the weekend, or you can decide, okay, this was a one-time thing. I'm not going to let this trigger me into a black hole of watching porn, but I'm going to actually decide to let this just be a one-time slip. All right. So that's the main mental barrier that you have to go through. All right. But here are the main things: justification. And the justification is your mind saying that, oh, I relapsed, I messed up, and there's no point, there's no hope. I might as well just watch porn. I might as well just give up on this whole thing. I might as well not have any more integrity or even try to beat porn. On the other hand, someone who slips up, and I find this very common in people who are having real progress, is that even though they can decide to just relapse and treat it as a binge watching session and just give up entirely, they decide intentionally that, okay, this is a one-time thing. If you can get to that point where you do have a lapse and you can decide that it's going to be a one-time thing, that you're not going to let your progress reset completely, that means real progress. And that means you're actually recovering. Often what I talk about is there's a big difference between recovery from a porn addiction and abstinence for the sake of abstinence. Many times that people that are practicing NoFap are just abstaining from porn for the sake of abstaining porn because they want to gain all the benefits of NoFap, etc. But recovery is very different. Recovery is actually going deep and figuring out the reasons why you watch porn and going deep into your mind, into your heart, to actually figure out how to replace the habit, the artificial thrill of porn, with something that's genuine. If you're not genuinely replacing the excitement of thrill with real thrill and excitement in your life, then you're not maturing. You're just justifying your porn habit and you're not making real progress. So real progress is when you just decide, this is a one-time slip. I'm going to get back on the saddle, on the bike. I'm going to keep on riding. The other characteristic of a relapse is binging, is just, like I said, is giving up and just giving up one time. And then slipping is just a one-time thing. All right, great. So I've explained the difference between these two words. How is that helpful? Well, it's not helpful unless you actually do something about it. It's not helpful unless I tell you and I show you how to get back on the saddle and how to reach this summit. To do that, I really think, first of all the content here on this YouTube channel is for you. It's free for you to consume. And I talk a lot about how to climb this mountain that we're climbing, how to do work on a project. I have a lot of emphasis on replacing your habit of porn with a project that's really exciting. I talk a lot about that more in detail. And also helping you guys tell somebody about your habit. Most of the people that I work with have nobody to tell about their porn habit, so they're using it in secrecy. The problem with addiction is that addiction is born in secrecy. and it dies in community. So if you can remember that, it's really important to stay connected. And I think the best way for you guys to stay connected is just subscribe. Go ahead, subscribe. I think it's probably the best thing for you to do. No one will know it. And also, if this video is helpful, give it a like, because it'll help a lot more guys find the video. And I think this video right here is going to be really helpful for you guys. It's good to have you. Take care.